Hello, and welcome to the first ever video on this channel. My name is Isaac Vandeven, and I am joining you on February 19th. This is 2024, and today I will be ranking all of the teams in the NBA who I think could be contenders in a tier list style. This is a ranking on teams who I think could win a championship, meaning no, this will not just be me ranking teams on their current record. And yes, I am just one guy on the internet, so my opinions may mean nothing to you. And guess what? That's okay. Let's get into it. Starting out with Tier 5, which is their season is already over, which includes the Pistons, Wizards, Hornets, Raptors, Nets, Spurs, Grizzlies, and Trailblazers. I don't want to spend too much time on these teams because they're pretty self-explanatory, but shout out to the Grizzlies because if it weren't for all their injuries, they would probably be much higher in these rankings, and sad for my Raptors. On to our next tier, Tier 4, the everything must go right tier, which includes the Hawks, the Bulls, the Magic, the Jazz, the Warriors, and the Rockets. This is basically a tier of teams that I think have a chance to make the playoffs, but I have my reservations of them going any further. For instance, if Trae Young puts up wild stats in the second half of the season, I could totally see the Hawks making the 7th or 8th seed, but I really couldn't see them going much any further. Kind of weird to see the Warriors here, but with the mess of the season that they've had, I really don't think I can put them any higher. The next tier of teams that I have is the first round exits, with the Pacers, 76ers, Heat, Lakers, Pelicans, and Kings. This is the tier with the teams that I think will probably make the playoffs, but will most definitely be bounced in the first round. It'll be interesting to see if the 76ers get Joel Embiid back from injury, but even so, I think that they're probably a first round exit team as they're not as well equipped as last year. Also, kind of sad to see the Lakers and Heat here, but I think that their window is closed. And as for the Pacers, the Kings, and the Pelicans, I really think that they're just happy to be here. Next, I have the tier they could make some noise. This includes the Cavaliers, the Bucks, the Mavericks, the Suns, the Thunder, and the Timberwolves. This is a really interesting tier because in this tier, I have 4 Western Conference teams, and in the next tier, Tier 1, I have 2 Western Conference teams. So mathematically, in the playoffs, that means that at least 2 of those teams have to lose in the first round, and I'm very high on all 6 of them. This just goes to show how stacked the NBA is right now, especially in the Western Conference. When it comes to the Cavs, I just think that they're a little too young, they're a little too inexperienced. Donovan Mitchell could maybe get them to the second round, but I don't think they can make it past that. And the Bucks, I just think that their coaching, their mid-season acquisition of Doc Rivers, and their depth, I really don't think it can get them further than the second round, even with the 2 stars in Giannis and Damian Lillard. I just really don't see them making it deep this year. The next tier, Tier 1, is the tier I could have them making it all the way, and in this tier is the Boston Celtics, the Denver Nuggets, the Los Angeles Clippers, and the New York Knicks. These are the teams that I really think have the chance to make it all the way this year. The Celtics might have the greatest roster of all time. I think this is the Clippers' window. I think that they're balling out this year. They're the 3 seed in the West right now, and they are only climbing. And Kawhi has really put himself in MVP conversations. He should really be talked about more in that regard. With the Nuggets, I just think it's really hard to bet against how complete their team is, and Jokic is just another year where he's an MVP candidate and he's incredible. And my hot take of the video, the New York Knicks. I think the moves that the Knicks made are on the margins this year, acquiring OG Anunoby, Alec Burks, and Bojan Bogdanovic will really help them boost them into playoff contention this year. And I think if there is any window for the Knicks, it is this year. So just as a recap, in my Tier 5, we have the Pistons, the Wizards, the Hornets, the Raptors, the Nets, the Spurs, the Trailblazers, and the Grizzlies. In my Tier 4, we have the Hawks, the Bulls, the Magic, the Rockets, the Jazz, and the Warriors. In my Tier 3, we have the Pacers, the 76ers, the Heat, the Lakers, the Kings, and the Pelicans. In my Tier 2, we have the Cavaliers, the Bucks, the Suns, the Mavericks, the Thunder, and the Timberwolves. And in my Tier 1 contender ranking, I have the Celtics, the Knicks, the Clippers, and the Nuggets. So these are my contender rankings for the 2024 NBA playoffs. Please remember that this is a playoff ranking, not a regular season ranking. I'm not doing this based off standings. If you enjoyed, please be sure to like and subscribe and leave a comment down below saying what you agree and disagree with. But you better be ready to back it up. This has been Isaac, signing off.